Recording in progress.
Yikes.
Welcome, everyone, to the June 17th, 2024 regular Board of Aldermen meeting. Would everybody please join with me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka.
Here.
Alderwoman Tice.
Here.
Alderman Weggie.
Here.
Alderwoman Sims. Here. Alderman Lockmiller.
Here.
Alderman Gould.
Here.
Alderwoman Harder. Here. Alderman Erger.
Here.
All members are present.
Thank you. For the members of the board, we have sitting in place of Kevin O'Keefe, his partner Philip Boyd, but he is with the Curtis Hines Garrett O'Keefe law firm. So thank you. Next item on the agenda is approval or amendment of the agenda. Do we have any changes? Yes, Alderman Plufka.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a question first. There's an item on the consent agenda, item F,
Sure.
which says annual public officials employment practices. Can I ask the city administrator whether or not this does include, I just had it and I don't, whether it includes the general liability and law enforcement liability
It does
lines?
not.
It does not?
That will be brought to Ways and Means at a later date.
Thank you. I have no concern about this consent agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Thanks, Paul.
Any objection to approving the same by acclamation? Seeing none, it will be so approved. Brings us down to item number 4, public hearing. This is ordinance granting comprehensive sign plan approval for property at 1234 Hanley Industrial Court. So with that, I will gavel open the public hearing.
Evening. We have the property owner of 1234 Hanley Industrial Court. He submitted for the Planning and Zoning Commission comprehensive sign plan. Initially reviewed at their April meeting. May meeting. They went to the subcommittee. Negative space being black, and then additional tenant identification on other tenant spaces with minor elements if it carries over to additional bands. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? All right, thank you. We'll take this up later in tonight's meeting. Thank you. Anybody else in the public care to speak during this portion of the public hearing on that particular matter? If not, we will close the public hearing. Brings us down to citizen comments. Anybody in the public care to address the Board of Aldermen? Now is the time to do so. All we ask is that you come to the podium, state your name and your address, and you'll be given up to 3 minutes. Okay, we'll keep moving. Mayor and Alderman reports. First up is the mayor's report. I have no report. Alderman Plufka.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The public safety is currently scheduled for June 26th. I have a number of conflicts with that date, and then also trying to move it. There's a lot of other things going on for the city in that last 2 weeks. Kelly has assured me that there is no separate agenda item yet to appear on this. I will talk. So the bottom line is we're going to postpone the June 26th public safety meeting, and I'll talk with both chiefs to see if they've got anything pressing and make sure that we get that taken care of in either a special meeting or at our next meeting in July.
Okay, thank you. Alderwoman Tice.
Just one thing to note for the Ward 1 meeting in July, it's typically the second Tuesday, but we had to reschedule Ways and Means. So the Ward 1 meeting in July will be on Wednesday, July 10th at 6:30 p.m. at the Rec Center.
Thank you. Alderwoman Sims.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ways and Means has a special committee meeting scheduled for June 25 at 5:30 here in these chambers. We are going to be taking up the employee benefits and compensation report. I had requested that the supporting documents be circulated to the entire board at least a week in advance of that meeting. I thank you for getting that out to us, Bola. As sort of our usual way of proceeding, if you've got as you review those documents, if you've got questions, if you could submit them via email, so our presenter can be, best positioned to fully answer any concerns. In addition, I would welcome the board's attendance in the gallery, and I would certainly recognize you at that time. We have another meeting tentatively set for, or not tentatively, but set for July 9 at 5:30, depending on how quickly we move through that report. We may also be taking it up again at that time. That's all I have.
Thank you. Alderman Weggie.
Yeah, a couple things. First of all, the library has formally hired their architect for the new library, so they hired Arcturus officially last week. And we got the first look at the construction schedule, so, notional timeline right now is that they would be in the new library first quarter 2026 with all the construction. So I'm sure we have a workshop in our future at some point about what we're going to do with that 7,000 square feet downstairs. I'm sure there'll be a high demand. The second thing is a little more in depth. As you know, we approved doing wristbands for residents for Madden Fest Brentwood Days going forward. As I've been talking to residents, some things have come up, and I think we might have missed a couple things on that approach. So the first one is, what about city employees? The way we have it now, it's only Brentwood physical residents. I feel like this is an opportunity for the people that are part of our community, which is our city employees, that they should be considered and allowed to purchase wristbands for themselves and their family and come enjoy the day. And then other populations are students that do not live in Brentwood but who do attend Brentwood School. That would be the kids that are part of the voluntary integration program. I feel like they should be accepted, as well as potentially, and I think this is up for debate, teachers of the Brentwood school districts. They are also a big part of our community, and I think, kids seeing their teacher out at the town festival, I think is really part of our community. And the only reason I'm bringing it up now is wristbands go on sale in 2 weeks, and so I think we need to move, if we are going to make some changes on the eligible population for those wristbands, I think we need to move quickly to make sure it's clear as we head into that.
Thank you. Alderman Lockmuller.
No report.
Alderman Gould.
Yes, the Communications Committee meeting that was scheduled for tomorrow is actually going to be postponed. We're going to just pick it up at the next month's communications meeting. There's a few due diligence items that still need to be done for the RFP selection. And rather than having a meeting tomorrow that doesn't have a full, complete recommendation, we felt it might be better just give it another month and pick it up so we can take some action on the plan. So no meeting tomorrow. We'll pick it up next month.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Erger. Oh, taking you out of order.
Alrighty. Yes,
Going back and forth.
we have 2 meetings to report. Brentwood Forest's annual owners meeting is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. in the clubhouse. And then their next board meeting is next Tuesday at 6 p.m. in the clubhouse.
Thank you. And Alderwoman Harder.
Report.
Okay. Alderman Weggie, have you reached out to city administrator about your concern about the wristbands?
Yes.
Okay. Is that,
Well, I would contend, I would actually be looking to make a motion to direct them, if the board agrees, to include
Night.
those, yes, because I think
Okay.
we have 2 weeks before the wristbands go on sale.
okay.
And I think it would be, I think there's a lot of details that would need to be worked out. How do you understand who, we would have to coordinate with the schools and things like that. So
Okay.
there's some details. So I would make a motion that we, for the sake of wristbands, include city employees, students at Brentwood school districts at all levels, and employees of Brentwood school district.
Employees of Brentwood School. How do we handle this? It's not on the agenda. Can we just do that on the fly, make that motion? Mr. City Attorney, we're throwing you.
Yeah, I think that if the
Okay, so we have a motion.
To provide direction to staff to include them and figure out how to do that.
Okay, and we have a second by Alderman Plufka. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Easy. Thanks.
Well done. All right, next up is the city administrator report, and we have a Brentwood Bound update, but I guess we don't have a Brentwood Bound representative. Nobody from Navigate?
I will pull it up.
Well, this doesn't take any action on the board's
Right,
part.
it's just a report of the expenditures from the last time the board met. And unless you have questions,
That's what I was going to say. Does anybody have any questions about anything that's transpired? Okay, then we will move on. Consent agenda, we have a number of items, and any requests to remove any of these items from the consent agenda or any questions about the consent agenda? If not, the chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka?
Yes.
Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderman Weggie?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder?
Yes.
Alderman Erger? Motion carries by a vote of 8-0.
Okay, thank you. That gets us down to old business. We have two items. First up is Bill number 6505. Can we get a second read by title only, please?
An ordinance amending the Brentwood City Code to provide for emergency operations for the city and adopting an emergency operations plan.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to perfect Bill number 6505 into ordinance form.
So moved.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderman Weggie?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder?
Yes.
Alderman Erger? By a vote of 8-0, Bill 6505 will become ordinance number 5134.
Great. Thank you. That brings us down to the second item under old business, and that is Bill number 6507. Can we get a second read by title only, please?
An ordinance amending ordinances number 3619 and 4863 relating to a conditional use permit and site development plan for McDonald's at 1595 South Hanley Road.
Thank you. Can we get a motion to perfect Bill number 6507 into ordinance form?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka? Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderman Weggie?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller? Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder?
Yes.
Alderman Erger? By a vote of 8-0, Bill 6507 becomes ordinance 5135.
Thank you. Brings us down to new business, Bill number 6510. Can we get a first read by title only, please?
An ordinance granting comprehensive sign plan approval for property at 1234 Hanley Industrial Court.
Great, thank you. Now, this is the matter we've had the public hearing about tonight. Does anybody on the board have any questions about this bill? The applicant would like to have a second read tonight, especially in light of the fact that we are in the summer session, and we're not scheduled to meet again until the third week in July. Anybody willing to make that motion?
Your Honor, I move for a second reading.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor of the second read, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, can we get a second read by title only, please, of Bill number 6510?
An ordinance granting comprehensive sign plan approval for property at 1234 Hanley Industrial Court.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to perfect Bill number 6510 into ordinance form.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka?
Yes.
Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderman Weggie? Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller?
I'm sorry.
Alderman Lockmiller?
You're voting.
You're next.
Sure.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder?
Yes.
Alderman Erger? Okay. By a vote of 8-0, Bill 6510 will become ordinance number 5136.
Great, thank you. Congratulations. Yeah, thank you. And that brings us down to citizen comments. Anybody in the public care to address the board? Once again, now is the time to do so. Just come to the podium, state your name and your address, and you will be given up to 3 minutes.
No one online?
No one, okay. We have a request to go into closed session tonight following tonight's meeting pursuant to RSMO 610.021 subsections 1 and 3. Can we get a motion to that effect, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Plufka? Yes. Alderwoman Tice?
Yes.
Alderman Weggie?
Yes.
Alderwoman Sims?
Yes.
Alderman Lockmiller.
Yes.
Alderman Gould.
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder.
Yes.
Alderman
Yes.
Erger. Motion carries by a vote of 8-0.
Great. Seeing no further business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you. We will reconvene in the conference room.